Hello friends. So we were discussing yesterday, you remember, Pope's an essay on criticism, and we saw 3 points. First one we saw, I have also an overview, isn't it? Yes. First one we saw, pride is one of the causes for wrong judgment. Pride. Pride is the never failing vice of fools. That's what he said. Definition is. Pope has got very special definitions like Dr. Johnson. Dr. Johnson defines cigarette as fire at one end and fool at the other end, like this. So this is wise. So never failing friend of fools, the wise of fools, never failing wise. And then we saw little knowledge is a dangerous thing, isn't it? Once you know something about little knowledge about something, then you pretend that you know everything, go around giving lectures and so on. No, I told you yesterday, some quacks do that. Then at that point we saw it that they don't go after minor faults. Look for the beauty of the whole thing. Like Romans, Michelangelo's domes, for example. They were even people used to find fault with the parts. So this part is not good, that part is not good. Don't do like that, because you are losing the glory, the cheerful glory of the thing and the splendor of the thing when you go after small mistakes, searching small mistakes like this. And then we saw, today we can see 4, 5 and 6 if we have time. Yes. So the fourth point is that some critics, they are bothered about conceits only. Conceits. Some critics, if there is conceits, if there are conceits, then it is very fine. Their talk is confined to only conceits, not sense. Understand? And they are in search of glittering thoughts. Say words like this: when the splendid meets the magnificent vanishes into thin air. What is the meaning? There's no meaning. If you say when the splendid meets the magnificent vanishes into thin air and things melts into, no sense. No sense. But some people are looking for that. Even if nothing is there, no meaning, or even if the words do not fit the context, they don't bother. They are pleased with this kind of high sounding words. One glaring chaos, something like this, just now I told you. A wild heap of wit means some words put together like this. See, bombarding words like that. You can see, if you have read the Tamburlaine, a play by Marlowe, you can see Tamburlaine marching in Persepolis, so that it says speeches, all bombastic words, you find, high sounding words, glaring chaos. Poets, he says, unlike painters. If the painter does not know how to paint, what he does is, he covers the whole thing with gold and silver, with a clash of colors. That's what it is, isn't it? If you lack in art, what you do is, you compensate it with ornaments. Suppose your dress is a cheap one. Then what some people do is that they will hang here and there they will paste golden papers around to show that ours is golden. The true wit is, according to, it means if you are really an able person, a genius, then what do you do? You will dress nature according to your advantage. Understand? And the definition of true wit is what oft was thought but never so well expressed. What oft was thought but never so well expressed. So this is the definition of true art or true wit. Means art lies in concealing art. not exposing everything. Understand? Shade and light should be there. Otherwise, you won't recognize what light is. Day should follow the night and night should follow the day. Otherwise, or 24 hours day, how will you recognize night? No. Suppose there is only blood in your body. Blood is very important. There is only blood in your body. Your body will perish. You need many other things, not only blood. So like that. If you are just drawing lines and then applying all paints on that, that is not a painting. Understand that? So, if everything is clearly written, that is not a work of art. Work of art should suggest. When you look at that, you get the image and then you start thinking. It should be food for thought. Everything should not be laid bare. Listen. That style is excellent, which has also sense. But here what happens, even without any sense, some critics will say, oh, the style is excellent. Style. And then the Pope says that too many words, too many bombastic words, too many ornamental words, too many embellishments, it will be like a tree teeming with leaves. When a tree it is teeming with leaves, means packed with leaves, what happens? There will be no fruits. Fruits will be rare, there will be only words. As Polonius asked, what do you read, my lord? Asked Hamlet, Polonius asked Hamlet, what do you read, my lord? Then Hamlet said, words, words, words. Like that. When you are writing something, your work of art is only words, high sounding words. And what will happen is that it will be like a tree full of leaves and no fruit. Isn't it? You might remember in the Bible there is a fig tree. So Jesus and his companions were passing by and said, see whether there are some figs, Jesus said. They said, no figs, only the tree is full of leaves and it is flourishing like it. Then what did Jesus say? He cursed that tree. And those who read Bible, they know it. See, otherwise, I say thing happens, suppose you have a tree, you have a mangosteen, and it's full of leaves, fleshy leaves, and you go and search for one, you are thirsty and you want to pluck one or two mangosteens, to find there is none. Then what will you do? Oh, what kind of a tree is this? All that is your own tree. Understand? So you should, that use the right word in the right place. It clarifies everything. It is like the sun. It is like the unchanging sun, he says. A word used in the right place, in the right occasion is like the unchanging sun. Understand? Otherwise what happens is, it will be like looking through the prismatic glass. There is all color, mixed clash of colors. You cannot discern anything. Understand? That's the point. So, you have to have, expression is the dress of thought. And the expression is to be suitable for the right occasion. Like you use dress, your dress. You use casuals at home. Do you use pants, shirt, tie and so on and sit at home? No. There is casuals. Maybe a lungi. Lungi dance, lungi. At home, the professor who comes to your class with the tie, wristwatch, gold chain and overcoat and latest pants and so on. When you go to meet him or see him at his home, you will find he comes out wearing a lungi. That is, you should dress according to occasion. And suppose you are going for a party, you have got a party dress. Party wear it is called, not party dress but party wear. You go for swimming. Do you go with pants and shirt and tie and overcoat and then what is called is swimming gear you wear. So like that. According to the subject, what you should do, style should suit the subject, like just as dress for occasions. Understand? You can use old words, no problem. You can use new words also. But you should not use old words just for amazing people, astonishing them. Villere, for example, suppose you are using an old word, villere. Villere means while before. It's an obsolete word. I mean, somebody reads it, oh, it's a wonderful thing. Understand? This is a wonderful thing, you will say. But, what do they use? So, just for amazing, the unlearned will be amazed, but the learned will smile. That's what happens. If you use words like that, the learned will smile. As it happened to Fungoso. Fungoso is a character in Fungoso. He is a character in Ben Jonson's Every Man Out of His Humor. There one drama is Every Man in His Humor. Just for the sake of an awkward display of vanity, he puts on somebody else's dress. The Fungoso. And some people, whatever, they just mimic the ancients. And it is, Pope says it is like dressing the apes in doublets of a gentleman. See? Like fashions. People like to use new words and discard old one. The advice given by Pope is that you should not be the first to use a new word. And you should not be the last to say, you should be the last to say that this word is old. Did you get that, man? You should not be the first to use a new word, and you should be the last man to say that this particular word is old word. So the whole section deals with this. Conceits, high-sounding words, bombastic words. So if some critics are in search of that. Therefore, what will happen? And there is a number of comparisons. Painter and poets. A tree teeming with leaves and no fruit. A painter who does not know how to paint, he uses too much color. And then wand of art is camouflaged, you can say, or it is substituted by ornaments. And there is another, he says that dressing as he says, that is pompous words is like dressing a clown with regal purple. This using pompous words without sense is like giving the royal dress to a clown. Okay? And then imitating the ancients, he says it is like giving the doublet to an ape. Then speaks about this, what is old word and new word and fashionable word. And also about fungoso, he says. Just for the display of vanity, awkward vanity, don't use words. So that section has got many comparisons like this. First comparison, you remember? What is that? That is when a painter and a poet. Second is the clown and the royal purple, regal dress. Third is ape and the doublet. And the fourth is teeming leaves and no fruit. And the fifth is fungoso's display of vanity. So there are 5 different ways that he attacks this tendency among critics to go in search or assess the work of, or appreciate, criticize the work of an author on the basis of conceit, pomp and show and splendid expressions. Understand? I think that is clear to you. So if you go after conceits, then it will be like going after searching for fruit in a flourishing tree full of leaves. Or it will be like dressing an ape with royal purple. Or it will be painting, using multicolors on a painting, having no sense. Or it will be like looking through the prismatic glass. Or it will be like dressing, giving a doublet to an ape. Isn't it? Right? A doublet. Yes. And then a gentleman, the gentleman dress. And then lastly he says, if there is no any ancient words, yes. So using ancient words is like giving a dress to doublet to apes, and then the other one we saw is that pompous words and expression and so on, and then finally you remember I told you regal purple, yes, regal purple for a clown, regal purple a clown, doublet for ape, and leaves and fruits, then painting and prismatic glass and so on. We saw that. So that is too many explanations are there, examples and explanations are given there. Also that is the fourth point. And the fifth point is, fifth is about sound. So the point here is, fourth point is, critics who go after conceits, pompous words and bombastic words and so on, words without meaning, they search of glaring chaos and a wild heap of wit and so on. What happens to them is, they make wrong judgments. See, this section deals with them. Why do critics make wrong judgments? Understand? Now, some other critics are there. They are concerned about sound. If the sound is rough, they will say, oh, it's a bad poem. If the sound is smooth, they will say, it is very good. And such people, Pope says, they are tuneful fools. Tuneful fools. They admire sound. Pope is so, we must say, is a good teacher because he gives plenty of examples. He says it is like a person going to church, not for doctrine but for listening to church music. See, when you take a poem, you find there are only sound is. So like for yesterday I told Suresh, a crush and so on. He says, the cooling western breeze whispers through the trees. So breeze, trees, with pleasing murmurs creep. No sense. What is the meaning? I will write this on the board, then you will find that. So he says that some people, they are not bothered about sense, they are only sound. The cooling western breeze. Pope himself quotes this. The cooling western breeze. The cooling western breeze. So, it sounds like a breeze. Whispers through the trees. Whispers through the trees. So breeze, trees. And the last line is, with pleasing murmurs creep. With pleasing murmurs creep. So this is quoted by Pope himself. He says, what is the sense? Is there any sense? You feel like creeping when you hear this. Pope says like that. When you read this, you feel like creeping. Like a wounded snake. He compares it to a wounded snake. And at the end there will be couplet, and critics say that it is loaded with thought, and the whole thing includes with an Alexandrine. Alexandrine means a meter, like I am. Alexandrine. Where you have 12 syllables in a line. 12 syllable line. It's a long one. And this then the Alexandrian creeps like wounded snake. You know how wounded snakes scream. You beat them, then they will lift their head like in the fall again. Then slowly they will go back. So dullest. And such people, they haunt Parnassus. Parnassus, the abode of the muses, for pleasing sounds, pleasing your ear. Understand? What happens is that when you hear this, we are threatened with sleep. Right? So, if you go after conceits, you will make mistakes in judgment. And the fifth point is, if you look for only sound, the sound effect, then what will happen is, you will get tired of this tuneful fools, only they will admire it. It is like going to a church for music rather than doctrine. Then he gives 3-4 lines. Then he says at the end of this there will be a couplet. And the critics say that it is loaded with thoughts. Finally there will be a long Alexandrine, like a wounded snake creep. So that is the fifth point. Now so far we have seen how many? Why do critics make mistakes? Why do they make mistakes? Why do they err in their assessment? One is pride, second is little knowledge, third is going after minor fault, fourth is going after conceits and bombastic words and glittering words, and fifth is sound, rhyming words. Understand? And then sixth is, he says, art is not chance. Art is not chance. By chance you don't become an artist or a writer. That's right. And then he gives an example. Everywhere we find this example. Those who have learned dance, they can move swiftly like this. Easy movement. If you have learned dance, then you have got all kinds of movements. So you can, in a group, you can move like this. Suppose their movement is restricted, how difficult it is. You don't know how to move, there's a crowd, what will you do? You will be like this. So it's like, art is not chance. So you learn, you have to learn it. Understand? And then he says, sound should echo the sound, sense. See, in that means, suppose you are giving a description of sapphire. Sapphire, the west wind. Sapphire. The sound should echo the sense. That means you are giving a description of sapphire, the west wind, and use smooth words. The word should mean smooth. Smooth flow. Suppose you are the roaring of Ajax, taking a heavy stone, hurling at Hector. Ajax, you know, Ajax. Ajax is the next to Achilles, the bravest of the Greeks. So Ajax moved a huge stone and took it, labored, he took it in his hand and hurled it against Hector. When you are describing that, the word should be like that. Then you should know the rocks. He swiftly lifted the rock like a weathercock and then threw it at Hector. No. The description should be such that you should have the feel of it. And then Camilla, the queen of Olsey. Camilla, three persons is Camilla, the queen of Olsey. She was brought up among the woods, and she was she could move swifter than the wind. And she was the one who helped Turnus, T-U-R-N-U-S, Turnus. I think we came across this character in Philippians. Turnus against Aeneas. She helped Turnus against Aeneas. She led an army Understand? Army. So, if you are smooth sapphire, let the words be smooth. If you are Ajax, let the words be rough. If it is Camilla moving over the woods and this plains and over the grass and so on, then it should be so subdued and so fast, swift. A swift Camilla. So sound should echo the sense. That's what it says. And then he says, where it lays of Timotheus. He said, gives an example. He said, where it, different styles used by Timotheus. Also, where it lines used by Dryden in his Alexander's feast for the power of music. In Alexander's feast, power of music. How the movements of the words, movements of the words, this according to the sense. And then he says, when Libyan Job, who is Libyan Job? Alexander himself. Libyan Job. When Libyan Job burns, the words should also burn. See that? When he melts with love, the word should be, loving word should be used. See that? And when he deals with the Persians, one style, one group of words. When he deals with the Greeks, his own. And so like turns of nature, like seasons change. According to the moods of the Libyan Job, the narration also should say. Understand? And the world, he says, the world's victor stood subdued by sound. What does that mean? Attracted by the sound. Description of Persians, tumultuous, because Persians were enemies of the Greeks, sworn and born enemies of the Greeks. But when the description is about Greeks, then what will happen? Smooth and victorious sound, triumphant sound. So the words, listening to these descriptions, the world's victor stood subdued by sound. The power of music was so well exhibited by Timotheus and Dryden. So, this is what the poet, the critic should look for. The critic should look for how the poet, the writer, the wit, W-I-T, use the words. So art is not chance. It is like dance. Dance is not chance. You know, if you have these days, what we have is cinematic dance, isn't it? Lungi dance like that. But they have to practice it. So, you have to, don't think that anybody, every Dick and Harry can write a poem, or a play, or write a short story like that. No. You should have that sense. Sense to bring out meaning in your use of words, in your use of language. Victor's description of a victory should be different from description of a battle. Description of the movement of the sapphire should be different from the movement of a rock, a huge stone by Ajax. And the swift movement of Camilla should be expressed in that way. So learn from Timotheus and Dryden, he says. For every season there is a change. Like that, for every occasion there is a change. So look for that, you critics, then you will not go wrong. So these are The six points now we have so far seen. Now we have got, according to our overview, there are 8 more points that we will see in the next class. If possible, we will complete it, or we may have to take 1 or 2 classes more. I don't think you are much concerned about that, isn't it? The number of classes, are you concerned about that? No. Whether we can, both of us can know, understand, and also comradeship of learning and enjoying this essay. That's more important than number of classes and so on. So friends, half a dozen points we have seen. What are they? First, why do critics go wrong? One is pride. The never failing vice of fools. Second is little knowledge. Little knowledge is a dangerous thing. A quote, little knowledge. And third is, third what we have seen is, don't go after minor faults. Leave all the minor faults. Leave all the minor faults. There he gives about examples of dome, isn't it? A dome. A Roman dome is this. At least think of that. And then the fourth is, says, don't get conceits. Don't go after conceits. It will be like a conceits and bombast. Many examples are given there, and there are examples like that. So women value men for their dress. We should not be like that. Critics should not value a poem or a work of art for the words or conceits, just as some women value men because of their dress. That's what it is. And the fifth is, we have seen sound, creeping and sleeping, and Alexandrian and so on. And the last 6 so far discussed is, that is, art is not chance. Art is not chance. It's a conscious effort. Only when you have you apply your conscious effort or ingenuity, your genius, you can describe Sapphire in one way, Ajax in another way, Camilla in another. So, don't go to the church just for the music, church music, but for doctrine. Don't go for this sound. Don't go for this conceits. But remember, art is not a chance. I think so far it is clear to you. Now remaining 8 points we will see, as I told you, in the next classes. And till then, bye, have a nice time, enjoy yourself. See, you are going to have holidays, 2 or 3 days, and then enjoy and then come back. But remember this, if possible, remember this examples with the examples given, so points with the examples given by, because 1 or 2 if you remember it will be alright. 1 or 2. This is words now, especially we have seen. Sense, bombast, sense, conceit and all those things. Ornaments, regal purple, ape with regal purple, clown with clown, I think clown with regal purple. A clown is dressed with regal purple, and ape is dressed with the doublet of a gentleman. See that? Ornaments, women valuing men for their dress. These are examples. Understand? Okay? Bye. Have a nice day.